Oh, I didn't see you there. I thought you were done staring at my ugly mug, so I brought you this one. I'm not even gonna try to say the company name that makes this because y'all know I'm as dyslexic as hell. But you can check the links in the description and buy one for yourself. Patriarchy, building civilization for 5,000 years and counting. Winning. If you want to drink deeply from the cup of expendability, well, this is a good start. Did I say expendability? I meant to say truth. What up, you monk mode militants? Terrence Popp here at Darkulus.com.
And returning from the delectable depths of Debbie's dick disseminator, I'm Toxic Male.
Bad Pop showed up today because I said it before and I will say it again. We men, we're creatures of habit and we are stupid. What are you gonna do? If you go way, way back to the first year we ran this show, you'll check out one of our episodes called Classic Mistakes Men Make. You get caught smelling your finger. Look, you dip the stick, you wanna know how the oil is? You wanna know, that's how it works. You get caught doing that, you're gonna get chastised. It's gonna cause some problems. But listen, ladies, all men do it, okay? They might say they don't, but they're lying to you. They do it. I know they do. All of them, 100%.
Yep.
It's been 7 years since we made that last video, and quite literally, I'm a different person. No, seriously, the cells in your body, except for those that I'm killing right now, they replace themselves over the course of 7 years. Now, I might look the same, except I'm a little fatter, but I'm different, and I love you. So it is time to expand upon that wisdom with a sequel. So pour yourself one menagerie, no, 2 menageries, because this episode would not be possible without your input. Thanks to your comments and feedback, we have 20 more classic mistakes men make. Because we're stupid. No, really, we are. And if you did any of these, you know the rules. You gotta drink with me, bitches. Hopefully, and I'm not guaranteeing you this, we'll all still be conscious by the end, and we may or may not need an IV. But in the event I should pass out, Toxic Male, he'll take over for me.
I don't know about that, Pop. I didn't become Toxic Male by using a rubber every time.
Point taken. Let us begin. Yeah. We're gonna start off here with a list of non-relation shit mistakes. And this first one, and we've all done it hoping for a little bit of something, if you know what I mean. Loaning a woman money. You gave it to her, you just don't know it yet. If you were foolish enough to hand over the cash without ever touching the gash, you have made a classic mistake. Anytime you loan a succubus money, you better take your interest and penalties up front, if you know what I mean, huh?
Otherwise, that money, it's going down the toilet, right alongside the condom she bought with your money, for the dude she's banging in the apartment that you just paid for.
That is so mean.
Next one on the list, and we've all done this, especially when we were young and we were thinking with the much too small little head. That head is far too small to do any quality thinking. And it has a hole in the top where all the bad decisions come out. Mistaking niceness or politeness for sexual attraction. Ladies, you think you're being nice to us, but when we're young and dick thinking, we really don't know the difference. You're walking down the hall and some hot blonde walks by and says hello. You're like,
Ah, yeah, I guess she wants to get to know me better. Not.
next thing you know, you're getting your ass beat or you're getting assessed a 15-yard penalty for encroachment. I made a whole video about it, links in the description. As we go along here, you're gonna see a common theme. Most of the stuff we talk about has something to do with shagnanigans. And that brings us to lucky number 3. Booty calls when you're drunk, and we've all done it. Drink with me. This is how you find yourself in a situation with a coyote woman.
What the hell did you just say?
Now, I was supposed to say coyote ugly. But if you didn't get the memo, I have dyslexia and brain damage. Whee! Now I wish I could use that excuse to explain away some of the phone calls I made after 2 a.m. But I never lie to you, Screen 5. We've all done it, but please do me a favor. Keep that shit to a minimum. Because when you're drunk, logic and reason out the window, along with your scruples and self-control. It doesn't matter if she's a flapper or a spinner. She breathes in your ear, come in me. And guess what? The floodgates are open. That's how you win the child support sweepstakes, along with a free DNA test. Not.
That's not really a joke.
I disagree. I find it hilarious.
And number 4, and this one's very common for guys who make those calls after 2 a.m., making direct deposits to the warehouse. But only during casual shagnanigans, or otherwise known as friends with benefits. And you'll be paying those benefits for the next 18 to 21 years, depending upon the state you're in. And you're wondering, how could this happen?
It was just a casual thing. We weren't catching feelings or anything.
Bad news, gentlemen. You just made classic mistake number 5. You trusted without verifying. Ha ha, you idiots. Now, dudes, we've all been there. And we all justify it the same way.
It's not like that. We're just casual and she's honest with me.
Get out of here! It doesn't matter if you think it's casual. If she's asking for direct deposits into the sperm bank, it is not casual. And that is just one example. We've all trusted without verifying in many different ways.
It's okay, you can leave it in. I'm on the pill. I swear, my STD panel is completely clean.
You see what he did there?
I know you're wondering, Pop, why? Why does this all happen? Well, you can boil it down to one thing. Mistake number 6, treating an unpaid pro like a lady. And yes, PRO is the new acronym. Pleasure Reciprocating Orifice, Screen 5. When you treat an unpaid pro like a lady, guess what you are? A simp. Oh, just got kicked off Twitch. Bummer. Because they know they're not a lady. And when you treat them like one, they do not respect you.
If I pay her car note and her rent, and maybe keep the electricity on, she'll let me hit it.
No! No. You're keeping the lights on and the heat on so someone else could show up and hit it. Get that through your head. No, not that one. This one, because she'll ignore that one. Lucky number 7. This one is still a non-relationship mistake, but the relationship in this case is not yours. Trying to be friends with your buddies, slot C. I understand the temptation to do this, but it has the potential to blow up in your face and not in a good way. The first time she comes to you for advice when they're having a tiff, you need to set it down, bow out, and back away. Don't even do it. Believe it or not, that is the most supportive thing you can do for your buddy. If you stick your neck out and that relationship ends, which most of them do, guess who's going to wind up in the crosshairs of blame? Because this is a completely emotional situation, not a logical one. It doesn't matter how logical you are, you have two people over here fucking each other. And you know what? If you get involved, that's gay sex with a witness, Space Ghost. And with that being said, we are moving on to the relationship mistakes. And yes, that relationship is yours. But before we get into that, I want to talk about our relationship. There's going to be some changes around here, and I think you're going to like them. So please go to redonkulous.com/donate. You're going to get some exclusive content, some wallpapers for your phone, and you're going to get some outtakes from when we film. Because believe it or not, once the alcohol flows, it gets quite lively up in here. Relationship mistake number 1. Allowing her to call you at work. Now, on its surface, this sounds completely innocent, but it's not.
It's okay, you can call me at work no matter what you need. It can't possibly backfire.
Next thing you know, you're having a fight with her on the phone while you're getting yelled at by your boss. Sooner or later, you're going to have no other choice. You're going to have to hang up on her or get fired. So, you take the path of least resistance for now. Then you go home for the inevitable explosion. You're gonna get divorced, dude. And I'm sorry, but you did it to yourself.
Damn, that's some cold shit.
And number 2, and this goes along with one of the original mistakes, monkey necking. Never, ever tell your woman that you find someone else attractive. You're watching a Batman movie and you make the following comment.
Catwoman's hot. I'd bend her over and give her my catnip.
Next thing you know, you're eating your meatloaf and you're like, honey, this is a little dry. And she looks at you and goes,
Why don't you have Catwoman make it for you?
it could be a week later or 10 years later. She will never forget you said that. And you put your own ammo in the fight bank. But this is not as bad as it could get. If your woman has a sister, especially a younger sister, and it doesn't matter how hot she is, you keep that shit to yourself. You make the mistake of saying her baby sister has a nice dumper. Guess who's getting the boiling oil surprise that night? Take my advice, gentlemen. After you're done with your stint in the emergency room, pack your shit and leave. And speaking of dwelling places, that leads us to the next two on the list. Number 3, you give her the keys to your place. What could go wrong? You gave those keys to her for emergency purposes only, but what they're actually used for is surprise visits or going through your shit with a fine-tooth comb when you're out of town. The first couple times you come back from out of town to a spotless house or apartment, you're gonna think, wow, this is great. But while she was cleaning everything up for you, she was doing some reconnaissance. When she made your bed to military standards and was folding those sheets, she was looking for additional different colored hairs. While she was dusting off your computer and cleaning the screen, she was actually checking it for ORN pay and not the stuff you actually find on the internet. And if she actually found any, sooner or later, you're gonna find out. Or number 4, you actually move in to her place. What are you, stupid? Don't answer that, we already know that you are. You move into her place, it never becomes our place. Any decorating suggestions that you have, they're getting shot down like German fighter pilots. And honestly, this is actually a good thing, because one of the original classic mistakes men make is thinking we can actually decorate, because we can't. Weapons in the corner, boxes of equipment, some nude sketches from years back on the wall. A decorator you do not make. Number 5, and this is actually important if you live together, keeping no password on your phone and computer. And you leave your phone laying around. Say you set it down and go to the shower. It's open season on your shit. They'll still find stuff that you're hiding, even if you're not hiding anything. But Just because she has the right to go through your shit because you're committed, that does not mean that you have the right to go through her stuff. Don't believe me? Just ask.
No, you don't get to see my phone. Unlike some people around here, you can trust me.
Ladies, I'm gonna be straight up with you. You go through your dude's phone but deny him access to yours, guess who's gonna be gone? There's no such thing as rules for thee and not for me in a relationship. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. You don't like it? Take it on the heels. But I know there's some dudes out there that have nothing to hide. Yeah, right. Space Ghost is on. Now, these guys are wondering,
Pop, why do I need to have a password on my computer and phone?
well, some of us, I'm not going to say who, might have incriminating photos and video from our past. Number 6, do not keep these incriminating pictures and videos on a computer that you're using. Because even if you have a password, sooner or later, they're gonna figure that shit out. And when they finally do, and they're sifting through all of that craziness, get ready for the roller coaster because it's gonna blow up in your face. And hopefully she doesn't see those pictures with you blowing up in someone else's face. Oh, Space Goats is on.
Sensei MGTOW calls that bukkake. Screen 5.
Because you know what's gonna happen. If she finds those pictures or video, you're gonna get the following speech.
If you really love me, I should be enough. Wah.
Shut up! Bottom line, I worked my ass off for that material, and I'm not gonna throw away any of that hard work for anyone. Well, if you didn't want to see me going balls deep in all-you-can-eat Asian buffet, you probably should have not went through my computer. Speaking of incriminating evidence on your phone, it leads us right into number 7. And this one is gonna become more common in the paradigm that we're in. Do not, I repeat, do not film yourself getting busy or doing other activities, ever. Because you might be the son of a duly elected president getting dick by the foot. Not only are you putting yourself at risk, personally and professionally, most of you don't know diddly dick about lighting, and it'll be more than just shrinkage, I'm just saying. I'm no better, I don't know shit about lighting, that's why I have this dude. Winning. If half of you made sex tapes the way you played with your phone, oh yeah, yeah, this looks so good, yeah, do it, deep, oh yeah, oh, get out of here. Speaking of hobbies, that leads us into the next one on the list. You give up your hobbies for a piece of slot C because you're grown up now. What the hell is that? Make no mistake, gentlemen. When a woman asks you what your hobbies are, she doesn't actually care. She wants to size you up, figure out what those hobbies are, so she can solve for X and find out how much money you have.
So, you restore classic cars. How many have you done so far? 3? Solving for X. Yes, I'll marry you.
But once you marry that gash, those hobbies, out the window, because you need to use that money for the family.
Fuck everything you thought this life was gonna bring you. Now let's go out there and try to make this bitch happen.
Number 9, and everyone is doing a shot over this one. Don't even argue with me. Your old lady goes 3 sheets to the wind, pulls out the total biatcha card, and what do? You apologize, and you reinforce that apology with cash and prizes. You are rewarding bad behavior with free shit. What are you, some kind of socialist?
I didn't think she'd get so mad if I didn't do anything wrong, so I'll show up with flowers and maybe a bracelet so she won't do it again.
Are you out of your mind? If your woman acts like a biatcha and she gets gifts every time, guess what's gonna happen? And ladies, you're not exempt from this. You do this too.
All those dudes you bellyache about in your 30s, those are the same dudes you let spit roast you behind the dump dumpster in your 20s with little more than a 6-pack, a smile, a good pickup line, and spit for lube.
You are not worthy of anyone's respect if you do this. And it doesn't matter if you're a man, woman, or one of the 126 different genders.
When you create your own problem and then whine about it, no one's gonna listen to you because their fuck rations have officially been depleted.
Number 10, and the last of the relationship mistakes. The first time your old lady tells you to do something without asking or saying please, and you just do it, guess what? You just tipped the nose of that aircraft and you're heading all the way into the scene of the crash. As soon as she realizes she does not have to give you respect and you'll still do stuff, you're fucked. In the beginning, you were happy to volunteer. Now you're getting voluntold. Sooner or later, it doesn't matter what you have going on. You can be at work or at home. It doesn't matter. That phone will ring and she'll say jump and you'll be like, how high, honey? You love me and you're different. You're not like that. Get out of here. If you want anyone to respect you, you need to learn the value of that simple word known as no. Well, because if you don't respect yourself, why the hell would anyone else respect you? Now this brings us to the post-breakup mistakes. And in this category, there's really only two. First one, trying to remain friends with your ex. What are you thinking, man? Anyone who's known you that intimately can never be your friend. Period. Especially if they're on their period. Now you might be thinking, well, for the kids, we should be friends. No, there's a big difference between friends and civility. Those things are not mutually exclusive and they don't need to exist together. And that brings us to number 2. And everyone has done this. Men, women, it doesn't matter. You get divorced, you break up, a couple years go by, maybe some failed relationships, and in your sick and twisted brain pan you start saying, well, she wasn't that bad. Get out of here! Do not romanticize your ex because that is setting your own death trap. Because if you're always looking back, guess where you're not looking? You're gonna smash your life up bad. Just remember, your ex is an ex for a reason. It doesn't matter who broke up with who, or who was more hurt, or who touched someone else's dick or pussy. It is what it is. Bottom line is simply this. It is over, and it should stay that way. And that brings us to the last one on this list, and it does not belong to any category. Not checking news sources for gay cruise ads.
Oh, son of a bitch!
That is for the dudes who watch the live streams. You are gentlemen and scholars. Winning.
Who would have thought such a stupid oversight would lead to a months-long running gag?
But in the end, is that not true of everything on this list? Now listen, we can laugh about it now because we're past all this stuff. At least I hope we are. But once upon a time, if somebody told me all this shit, it would piss me off. The most expensive thing you will ever buy in your life is wisdom. And the currency is pain. That is why it is so damn important to laugh at this, gentlemen. Because laughter is the best medicine against pain, misery, and stupidity. And the first step to recovery is admitting you have a problem. With that being said, I'm going to say this to the 15 chicks who have nothing better to do than downvote all my videos. I do not have a drinking problem. I have problems, so I drink. You might not see the difference, but I wasn't asking your opinion. I am done with you. Go away. Dude's giving her the deep dick. Wow! Time for this. Very good. Very good.